Dear Grace, it's been a while since I read the news. Decided today I'll do this instead of the continuation of the comedy cult story. Well, I may do both. This one I'm going to name whatever number it is, and then I'll add a decimal 5 to it. Because right now it's perfect. My live number, which I think is 6. Sorry we got back to applause breaks today. I'm closer to the train, so it's going to be louder, but I'm more protected from the other noises, I think. So we'll see. Anyway, news. Let's get back in news mode, I guess. New study reveals complex touch responses in autism spectrum disorder. I think a lot of people don't like being touched the wrong way. Provide intriguing insights into how individuals with ASD experience touch. Again, I think that's for everyone. Everyone's autistic, everyone's everything. Right, Grace? Human culture is changing too fast for evolution to catch up. Here's how it may affect you. Well, no shit. Can't go from this to Neuralink and not have a bit of a fuck up or two. Grace? The 3 brain superfoods protect your mental health from a psychologist. Or maybe just protect your mental health from psychologists altogether. The comedy cult will solve all of this, Grace. Just remind me to get Tabitha into that story pretty quick. Please and thank you. The gut-brain axis is a complex communication network linking the emotional and cognitive centers of the brain with peripheral intestinal functions. Sure. Maybe not. Come on. Google's quantum AI challenges long-standing physics theories. So I've been using Google's AI. I don't know if it's their quantum AI. I don't think so. Their AI called Gemini, which is pretty much like ChatGPT. Pretty similar. Canada's universities are a pipeline for Chinese military technology. Or maybe so is the internet. I wonder how many automated AI computers are just trying to hack every single port in America. Yes, I'm talking TCP/IP port. Why wouldn't it? And what technology is going to matter anymore? Soon enough. Mutated tribe can swim to the bottom of ocean after developing sea nomad gene. Practice makes perfect. Hackers finally unlocked 3 million Bitcoin wallet after man forgot password for 11 years. 8 helpful income skills that are safe from AI in 2024. Or 8 helpful high income skills that are safe from AI. I'll decide that, Grace. AI is generating buzz. Both are what it can do and who it might replace. But certain high income jobs remain firmly the domain of human expertise. Let's see. Sorry, but I think eventually one guy will be able to program as much as 10 guys, so bye-bye software developers. All you need now is creative people. Just use their creativity and show them the basics of the programming and let the AI do the hard, boring fucking coding work. Just my thought, Grace. Designing, essence of human touch, fine art. Human resources, a human response. Sorry about that, Grace. Forgot how unprofessional I am in these podcast things. Mental health and counseling, providing conversational support. Well, I already talked about that many times. Get Tabitha to take over the bulk of the work, and then the psychologist and psychiatrist can talk all they want. Pretty sure that's all they want anyways, to hear their own voice. Legal professionals, the nuances of judgment and advocacy. Exactly wrong. AI should be fucking taking all this shit, running it through the system. When cops go to court, AI should have access to all their body cam recordings, videos, audio, every piece of information about their vehicle, where it was, GPS, how fast they drove, whether they used their signal light, how many times they stopped at 7-Eleven for a taquito, everything. I'm just saying. AI can sort through all that in a second with no judgment, in my mind. Education, shaping minds with human learnings. Sorry, but education, it's a fucking mess. Marketing, strategic insights, and emotional intelligence. They're just making up words now. Not words, but concepts. Healthcare professionals, mix of compassion and expertise. Well, why don't you try that now? Because I don't really hear about a lot of compassion and expertise in the medical profession. Grace? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been alone too long. Who knows? 5 ways to make money from home using AI. I'm never going to make money, Grace. Night vision lenses so thin and light that we can all see in the dark. That's kind of cool. How to make a more positive non-verbal presentation. And it goes against what I've been trying to do here, Grace. I need the verbal presentation. I need to get on that fucking stage. Let's finish this fucking idea. Ten behaviors of deeply self-absorbed people according to psychology. Clearly about me. I miss doing this a little bit, Grace. At least until you can come join me. Because I'm deeply self-absorbed. And here's 10 behaviors to prove it, according to psychology. It's finally got a picture of a woman, but I'm just saying. By Lachlan Brown. I think we've read his shit before. We all know these folks who seem to orbit in their own universe, right? Well, psychology has a term for them. Self-absorbed. I'm so self-absorbed I didn't even want that applause break. Grace. Now, being self-absorbed isn't just about being a little self-centered. It's a deep and pervasive focus on oneself to the exclusion of others. Understanding self-absorption can help us navigate tricky relationships and interactions. Well, if you're so self-absorbed, you won't have any relations or interactions. To aid that understanding, psychology has identified 10 key behaviors typical of deeply self-absorbed people. Let's get started. Seriously, you telling me AI couldn't do this in a second? Constantly seeking validation. That's me. I'm always looking for fame. Self-absorbed individuals often have an insatiable need for approval and affirmation. Agreed. According to psychology, this behavior stems from a deep-seated insecurity, a fear of not being good enough, so they are always on the hunt for validation, be it through compliments like likes on social media or any form of acknowledgement. The constant quest for approval becomes their compass, guiding their actions and decisions. It's not about what they truly want or need, but about what will score them the most points in the eyes of others. But here's the kicker. Even when they get the validation they crave, it's never enough. They're like a bottomless pit of neediness, always wanting more. Definitely sounds like me. If you find yourself dealing with someone like this, be prepared. It can be draining and frustrating, but understanding the behavior can help you interact with them in a more effective way. I don't know, Grace. Minutes in or 17? 11. If I suddenly scream, Grace, it's because there's a rat nearby where I'm sitting. Besides me, a real rat. He has a tendency to walk behind me and scare me. I think he does it on purpose. Or she, who knows? Grace. Alright, number 2, lack of empathy. Absolutely me. Now, this is a trait I've personally experienced with self-absorbed individuals. It's funny, it's also a sign of autism. It's funny how all these little signs all cross over each other. They struggle to empathize with others. I recall a close friend of mine who seemed to live in her own little world. Even in the middle of a conversation, she would always steer it back to herself. It felt like my feelings and experiences were always secondary, if not invisible to her. Psychology explains this behavior as a result of their intense self-focus. They're so wrapped up in their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences that they struggle to step outside and view things from another's perspective. Sounds like me, Grace. Neglecting relationships. Oop, applause break. Self-absorbed people, like me, often have a history of neglected or damaged relationships. Ironically, they crave approval and affirmation, yet their behavior often pushes others away. What's fascinating is a study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, which found a clear link between self-absorption and poor relational health. Relationship health. Poor relational health. They discovered that self-absorbed individuals tended to have fewer close relationships and more conflict within those relationships. Stay away from it, Grace. We've got a lot of conflict. Their intense focus on themselves left little room for the reciprocation and compromise needed for healthy relationships. Dominating conversations. Why do I think this one is more about you than me, Grace? Are you a chatty Cathy? Guess we'll find out. Dominating conversations. Ever noticed how self-absorbed individuals always seem to turn the conversation back to themselves? I have noticed that. It's like they're on a one-person show where everyone else is just an audience. I guess that is kind of what I'm doing. But I think this one's about you, Grace, not me. The dominance in conversation stems from their belief that their experiences, opinions, and ideas are more important or interesting than others. They may not even realize they're doing it. It's just a manifestation, They may not even realize they're doing it. It's just a manifestation of their self-centered mindset. Communication is a two-way street. It feels more like a monologue than a dialogue. You might be dealing with communication is a two-way street. If it feels more like If it feels more like a monologue than a dialogue, you might be dealing with a deeply self-absorbed person. Ignoring boundaries. I do ignore all boundaries, Grace, as you can tell. Especially if we get married the first day we meet. That would be a bit of a boundary break, but, whatever. I can wait 2 or 3 days. 5. Ignoring boundaries. Respecting other people's boundaries, that's often a foreign concept to deeply self-absorbed individuals. They may frequently intrude on your personal space, time, or belongings without a second thought. Why? Because their needs and wants take center stage. It's as though they're wearing blinders, not recognizing that others also have needs and rights. It's all about them, and this disregard for boundaries is just another sign of their self-absorption. Struggling with genuine compliments. It's a strange paradox. Self-absorbed individuals crave approval, but when it comes to giving compliments, they often fall short. Giving and accepting. It's not that they can't recognize good qualities in others, it's just that maybe I'll upload the voice audio to AI. See if you can time how often those trains go by. And then from that they could determine approximately which station I'm at. When I say they, I mean AI. Tabitha. It's not that they can't recognize good qualities in others, it's just that acknowledging them can feel like a threat to their own self-importance. In their world, praise for others might mean less praise for them. Yet everyone needs acknowledgement. Everyone wants to feel seen and appreciated. So when someone struggles with giving genuine compliments, it's not just a sign of self-absorption. It's a missed opportunity to connect and uplift others. Difficulty with criticism. Handling criticism is a tough pill to swallow for anyone, but it's particularly challenging for self-absorbed individuals. I remember a time when I offered some constructive feedback to a colleague, hoping it would help improve our project. Instead, he took it out as a personal attack and lashed out. This difficulty with criticism stems from their fragile self-esteem. They often perceive it as a threat to their self-worth, making them defensive or even hostile. It's important to know this when dealing with self-absorbed individuals. Navigating feedback can be like walking on eggshells, but understanding their reaction can help approach it more effectively. What do you think, Grace? Agree? Disagree? Is this me? Is it not? Am I the opposite? Do you care? Do I? Does anyone? Does the rat? Overly generous appearances. Surprisingly, self-absorbed individuals can sometimes come across as exceedingly generous. Generous with applause breaks. They might shower others with gifts or always insist on picking up the tab. Sounds like me. But there's a catch. This generosity typically comes with strings attached. It's not about the joy of giving, but the recognition and validation they receive in return. If someone's generosity feels more like a performance than a genuine act of kindness, it might be a sign of deeper self-absorption. Inflated sense of entitlement. It's definitely me, Grace. An inflated sense of entitlement is another hallmark of the deeply self-absorbed people. They often believe they deserve special treatment or the world owes them something. This can manifest in different ways, from expecting others to bend over backwards for them to disregarding rules they feel shouldn't apply to them. Well, rules are a pain in the ass, Grace. This sense of entitlement stems from their self-focused view of the world. If someone consistently behaves as though they're above the rules or expectations that apply to everyone else, it's a clear sign of self-absorption. I don't know why they're making this sound bad. It sounds like the person knows what the fuck they're doing. Oh wait, maybe not. Lack of self-awareness. At the core of self-absorption lies a striking lack of self-awareness. Paradoxically, despite their intense focus on themselves, self-absorbed individuals often struggle to see their behavior for what it really, truly is. This blind spot hinders their ability to recognize how their actions affect others. It also prevents them from seeing the need for change or growth. If you encounter someone seemingly oblivious to their self-centered behavior, know this lack of self-awareness is a key trait of deep self-absorption. Food for thought. It's not always black and white. Oh fuck, I thought it was. You had 10 points there. As we navigate the complex landscape of human behavior, it's essential to remember that these traits aren't necessarily fixed. Psychology tells us that self-absorption isn't always a lifetime sentence. It doesn't even sound that bad. Why is it a sentence? With increased self-awareness and efforts towards personal growth, individuals can shift their mindset and behavior. The renowned psychologist Carl Rogers once said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." This is particularly relevant when dealing with self-absorption. So if you recognize some of these traits in yourself or others, don't despair. Change is possible, but understanding is the first step on that journey. As we reflect on those behaviors, let's challenge ourselves to foster empathy and understanding. After all, we are all works in progress, continually learning and evolving. Did you like my article? Like me on Facebook to see more articles. Lachlan Brown. What do you think, Grace? Is this better than reading comedy cult stuff? Or editing, I guess? Tell me, Grace. Let me know. The evolutionary biologist suggests human brain grew as energy was freed from ovarian follicles. Ovaries have follicles. That's quite a suggestion. Why did primates evolve big brains? It might not be the reason you think. Another downtown Vancouver business calls it quits, citing crime and disorder. The Fed quietly admits gold is replacing the dollar as a collapse fear predicted to trigger a 15 blah blah blah, don't care. The world's most powerful antifungal chemistries cause fungal pathogens to self-destruct. Humans may be able to grow new teeth within just 6 years. Now, Japanese researchers are moving a promising tooth regrowing medicine into human trials. The first patients will be receiving the drug intravenously in September this year. How does the drug know which teeth to regrow? My question, Grace. Do you have any missing teeth, Grace? Video. Eve humanoid voice prompted to perform back-to-back multitasking. Researchers developed robotic hand, third thumb for one-handed tasks. That's creepy. 8 phrases only genuine introverts use, according to psychology. Well, let's find out if I'm an introvert or a genuine introvert. Am I an introvert and self-absorbed? Conceded. By Mia Zhang. I think they have like 3 or 4 writers. Probably introverts often have their own unique set of phrases and expressions that truly encapsulate their personalities, which can sometimes leave others puzzled or intrigued. being an introvert is not a simple personal preference. It's a fundamental part of who someone is. If you're an introvert, you probably understand that communication can be a challenge. I think I'm just an asshole. But remember, every introvert is unique, so getting to know their language can present its own set of challenges. See, AI can convert language for introverts too. AI solves all. Understanding the phrases they use could be a great starting point. So, if you want to know the phrases only genuine introverts use, according to psychology, read more below. 1. I need some alone time. A few years of it. This is a phrase you'll often hear from a genuine introvert. It doesn't mean they're upset with you or don't enjoy your company. Quite the opposite. Actually, it simply means it needs some time to recharge. Being an introvert fundamentally means that you draw energy from being alone. Actually, a shitload of energy. Grace. So when an introvert utters this phrase, it's their polite way of letting you know that they need to replenish their energy reserves. However, hearing this can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. You might feel rejected or think you're done something wrong, but that's far from the truth. They're not pushing you away, they're just taking care of their mental health. I might be pushing you away a little bit too, but the need for solitude is not a reflection on you or your relationship with them. It's simply a part of their personality. Silence is golden. Silence is golden. This phrase might sound peculiar, weird to many, but for introverts, it's a mantra. While society often perceives silence as awkward or uncomfortable, introverts see it as a treasured moment of peace and tranquility. When an introvert says silence is golden, they're not implying that they want to shut the world out or avoid conversation. Instead, they're expressing their appreciation for moments of quiet reflection. These periods of silence allow them to process their thoughts and feelings more deeply. They can delve into their creativity, get lost in a book, or simply enjoy the serenity of their surroundings. I was just thinking, introverts are often deep thinkers, and this phrase is a common opener for them. Saying, I was just thinking, shows that they're interested in an insightful or thought-provoking conversation. Yeah, what a concept. It's because introverts tend to process information internally and take their time before sharing their thoughts or ideas. This phrase is their way of sharing these internal reflections with others. I was just thinking, maybe followed by a new idea, a creative solution, or analysis of a situation. It shows that introverts are constantly processing and reflecting on their experiences. Saying this shows that they're opening up a window into the rich landscape of thoughts and ideas that often occupy their minds. How are you really feeling? An introvert who asks this question is not simply following social protocols or making small talk. They genuinely want to know. They're inviting you to share your feelings and experiences, and they're ready to listen. Introverts are often excellent listeners. That's true. When they ask, how are you really feeling? They're not looking for a surface level response. They're interested in the depths of your emotions, your triumphs, your challenges, your fears, and your joys. True. This question signifies their willingness to engage in meaningful conversations. Meaningful, Grace. Shows that they value emotional authenticity and deep personal connections. True. I'd prefer to text. I mean, that's everyone, not just introverts, but thing about texting, Grace, is you have a second to respond, whereas when talking in person, people expect a response within a certain number of... Actually, sorry, when texting, you have a minute to respond. When you're talking in person, you have about a second to respond. That's how long people will wait for you to say something, otherwise they're like, he's making up a lie in his head to tell me. That's just how people think, Grace. Just saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? How are we doing, Grace? Look at that. Who hasn't preferred texting over a phone call at some point? For introverts, this preference is often more than convenience or habit. Texting allows introverts to carefully craft their response and express their thoughts without the pressure of a real-time conversation. By the way, Grace, I tried to do this live too, but I can't figure the software out, so fuck it. This isn't as interesting as the comedy cult stuff anyways. If someone wasn't actually going to talk besides me, that's okay. I'm a self-absorbed introvert. That's how we do things. It gives them the freedom to think before they speak, which is something that introverts often appreciate. This doesn't mean they dislike talking or avoid conversations. It simply means they prefer a medium that offers them the comfort of time and space to articulate their thoughts. Isn't what I just said? Number 6. That book/movie really got me thinking. This phrase is often heard from introverts who tend to deeply engage with books, movies, or any form of storytelling that allows them to explore different perspectives and ideas. Should not be everyone. Not just introverts. Called being open-minded. Take, for instance, an introverted friend of mine who read To Kill a Mockingbird. Sorry, Grace, I'm just a little cold. I'm trying to decide if I want to pause this and go get a sweater or something. Maybe your pink sweater. Pretty sure if I was wearing your pink sweater, everyone from the train could see me from about a mile away. I'm not sure how you find something that neon. Amazon, I guess. Old joke, Grace. We're gonna recycle jokes now. Until I can find something new. Finish this fucking story, one or the other. Grace. Take, for instance, an introverted friend of mine who read To Kill a Mockingbird. Excellent book. After finishing the book, he spent days discussing the themes of empathy and moral integrity. He wasn't just captivated by the story, he was deeply moved by its underlying message, which is, and how they resonated with his own values. It's called literature. Concept. Sorry, Grace, I'm being an ass. I guess some of this seems like it should be a little bit more obvious. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go sit in the sun. Alright, this may or may not work. No place to put my coffee, but oh well. When they say this, they're not just sharing their interest in a story, expressing how it has impacted their thought process, their beliefs, or even their perception of the world. It's a testament to the reflective nature and their ability to connect with narratives on a profound level, Grace. I'm not shy, I'm just observing. Actually, I've thought that many times. Whatever. Introverts often find themselves labeled as shy or antisocial. But when they say, I'm not shy, I'm just observing, they're setting the record straight. Fuckers. Being an introvert doesn't automatically mean being shy. Shyness is about fear of social interactions, while introversion is about how one recharges and where one directs their energy. This phrase is a gentle yet firm reminder that quiet does not equal shyness. It's an introvert's way of asserting their identity and dispelling misconceptions. I enjoy my own company. Not really. This is perhaps the most defining phrase for a genuine introvert. When they say, I enjoy my own company, they're expressing their comfort and contentment with solitude. And they're probably lying. Just saying, Grace. It's not a loneliness or dislike for others. It's simply that introverts find their own company fulfilling and energizing. It's their way of reconnecting with themselves and nurturing their inner world. This doesn't mean they don't value relationships or social interactions. They do, but in their own unique way. Shouldn't everyone have doing it their own unique way, Grace? Just saying. They thrive in one-on-one settings and meaningful conversations and intimate connections. Ooh. So if there's one thing to remember about introverts, it's this. Their enjoyment of solitude is not a rejection of others, but a way they embrace themselves. Conclusion. Being an introvert isn't being shy or antisocial. It's a way of experiencing the world, a preference for quieter, more introspective interactions. While these phrases can offer some insights, every introvert is unique with their own individual preferences and ways of expressing themselves. The beauty lies in appreciating these differences and fostering connections that respect and honor individual personalities, because at the end of the day, it's our diversity that enriches our collective human experience. That's pretty good. Bullshit, but good. Good bullshit. Alright, what else can I diagnose myself with today? How to improve my memory? Nah, I'd rather deprove it. Meta holograms. Scientists have developed a new, better type of hologram. Yay. 21 new laser materials uncovered in groundbreaking global study. Figuring a lot of shit out lately, aren't they? The Captive Imagination by Elias, Darkwa Review, A Window into Addiction. Politics briefing. Trudeau responds to report that MPs are collaborating with China, India to further... Here we go, Grace. I don't know why these are the only ones I find interesting, but 8 habits are quietly making you unhappy in life, according to psychology. Let's see, Grace. Let's see what Mia has garnered from. What does she use? ChatGPT? Probably not. Probably does it the old-fashioned way. Lazy. Ready, Grace? You're working hard at your job, taking courses to improve yourself, and you even went on a month-long spiritual retreat. But despite following guru after guru, you still feel like crap. Sure, you may feel bliss for a short moment, but it's gone so soon, and you need to find something new to feel better again, ASAP. If you're like many seekers, there comes a point when you just get so frustrated and say, I'm already doing so much, but why am I still so unhappy? thing is, more isn't always better, especially if you're not keeping track of the small things that are slowly eating up your joy. Make sure you're aware of the 8 habits you're quietly making that are quietly making you unhappy in life, according to psychology. 1. Jumping straight into work. Do you check your email the moment you open your eyes? Yes. Do you rush your breakfast and shower so fast so you can start typing on your computer? Yes. You might think you're doing yourself a favor for being extra productive, but it actually has negative effects on your physical and mental. Well, shit. Way to go, Grace. Alright, not only will this lead to burnout, it's also guaranteed to slowly make you unhappy. According to psychology, our morning routine sets the tone for the rest of our day. This is the reason why many successful entrepreneurs have a solid morning routine, and take note that they don't go straight to work. They do happiness-boosting activities like... Sorry, Grace, but I'm going to disagree with this one because I can. Exercise. Science says doing just 20 minutes of cardio pumps up your endorphins, making you a little less stressed and a little more happier. Meditation. This helps program our brains to be more mindful and accepting of our thoughts and feelings, which, according to psychology, can increase happiness. Fuck those trains. Being with pets and nature. This boosts both physical and mental health by enhancing feelings of connectedness. So instead of having a rush morning, take things slow. Wake up slowly, look out the window, listen to good music, eat a nutritious breakfast, journal. Listen, you have the whole day for work. So reserve your mornings for yourself. Totally disagree. Get out of your system as fast as possible and then enjoy the rest of your day. That's my logic. I might be wrong, Grace. I might be right. Who knows? Always wanting more, of course. Buddhism has taught us that desire is the root of unhappiness. The more we want things, the more driven we become. But then it could also lead to frustrations, dissatisfaction, self-loathing, envy, and negative feelings toward oneself and life. According to Dr. Steve Taylor, there are several reasons why wanting something makes one unhappy. Wanting creates dissatisfaction with our current state. Wanting makes us less focused on the present, or less present on the focused. Wanting creates frustration. Wanting leads to more wanting. There's a reason why we become melancholic. No, it's not. Become stupid when we're in love with a person, with a thing, with an idea. We used to be happy, but then we feel that suddenly there's something missing in our lives. Grace. Buddhism suggests that if we want to be happy, we must eliminate any desires. I no longer desire you, Grace. I want to be happy instead. That's it, no more desires. When we have no desires, nor ambitions, and grand goals, we won't have unfulfilled expectations. So basically do nothing. And if we have no unfulfilled expectations, we are less likely to be unhappy. Do nothing, expect nothing, and be happy. Got it. Of course, this is rather extreme. Wanting growth and financial freedom doesn't make you shallow unless you're always chasing the next best thing with only fleeting feelings of happiness. In that case, it's time to practice gratitude. Being chronically online, well, it is sort of the communication method of the day. Don't think you can really criticize that. But if you do, want to, go ahead. I don't give a shit. Studies show that being online for more than 2 hours daily, especially if it's spent scrolling on social media, can lead to unhappiness. What about reading psychology articles to yourself? Will that lead to unhappiness? One day that train's just going to stop. The things that could lead to more peace of mind and happiness, like being in the present, forming genuine connections, and moving our bodies, become harder when they're online most of the time. Let's skip that one. Trying to impress others, low self-esteem, trauma, and even our natural need for connection can all lead to unhappiness when we're focused on impressing other people and winning their approval. Well, definitely I'm not trying to impress anyone, because this is the worst sounding podcast imaginable. That's not even a podcast, it's a stupid open letter to one person. It goes on and on and on and on and on forever. I really should talk when it's quiet like that, but when it's quiet like that, it's kind of nice just to relax for a second. Grace. Why? For so many reasons. You won't be able to live an authentic life. You will always live by the rules of other people. You'll be affected by what others say about you. You'll always try and do things for others, not for yourself. Unhealthy childhood dynamics of needing to impress our parents and our teachers. Getting boring, Grace. Do cells have sentience? New framework for understanding life and consciousness. Either everything does or nothing does. SpaceX lands FAA license. FAA license for our next Starship mega rocket launch on June 6th. Wait, isn't that tomorrow? 8 traits of a genuinely good person according to psychology. Well, I know I'm not that, so we're not going to bother that one. Underutilized visual memory, can recall less we can, blah blah blah. People with dark personality traits, don't hide them. People with dark personality traits, don't hide them. See how dark we can go, Grace. People with dark personality traits, don't try and hide them. A recent study in Spain explored the associations between personality traits based on somebody's theory of personality and the dark triad traits. The results indicate that narcissism and machiavellianism, I've heard that word, but I can't pronounce it, are linked with neuroticism and extroversion. While psychopathy is associated with psychoticism, these associations suggest that individuals with higher dark triad traits did not fully conceal them when responding to the survey. Or why should they conceal them? It's a stupid study. A better model for converting carbon dioxide into fuels and products. Yeah, no shit. Don't care about gravitational waves. Ancient medicines blends with modern day research and new tissue regeneration method. Archaeologists found a secret chamber at the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, and they have no intention of opening it because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. No, okay. They have no idea what it is. That too. Archaeologists found a secret chamber at the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza. They have no idea what it is. Fair, these same archaeologists have no idea what the fucking pyramids are, so big surprise. Several helpful tips to learn how to communicate better according to a clinical psychologist. This I definitely need. Wait, 8 signs you're actually a very difficult person. Which one? Communicate better or confirm that I'm a difficult person? Confirm I'm difficult first, and then we'll go back to the other one. And then we should be at about an hour, Grace. And we're good. 8 signs you're actually a very difficult person. Just go straight to the signs. You're always right. Well, that's correct. So, you struggle to accept criticism. No, I don't struggle. I just don't listen to it. You're a conversation hawk. Obviously, I'm talking about myself. Empathy isn't your strong suit. Not really. Kill that. You're not a fan of change. Well, that's not true. I love change. I change my clothes every day. You hold grudges. Yes, I do. Long ones. Years, decades, eons. Your mood swings are unpredictable. Absolutely. Keeps it interesting. You don't respect boundaries? Nope, not at all. Fuck them. Final thought it's about personal growth. I'm all growed up, Grace. Here's I'm gonna get. But let's learn how to communicate better. 7 helpful tips to learn how to communicate better according to a clinical psychologist. Ooh, clinical. Ooh, la-di-da. Deep breaths. I'm still learning how to communicate better in all of my relationships, personal and professional. Sorry, Jasmine Williams, but I have to go maximum sarcasm on this. It doesn't seem like that should require me to gather my bearings, but I'm not always the best at conveying how I feel. If I'm not overthinking about how someone else will respond, I'm reminding myself not to approach someone while I'm feeling defensive. Are you in the same boat and need loving nudges in the right direction? Dr. Naomi physical doctor, I don't know, a physician, and co-host of the Oversharing podcast. Ooh, well, she has a podcast from Betches Media. Betches has helpful strategies that encourage you to become more intentional about communicating. Her approach is all about helping people learn mindfulness techniques, and says many people think of mindfulness. Do people communicate differently post-pandemic? What are some people's biggest communication barriers? Finding someone interesting to talk to. It's a long one. Alright, I think we're done, Grace. It's close to an hour. How to reconnect with old friends. Science may have a solution. It's called booze. A parachute failed to deploy during Jeff Bezos' space tourism comeback mission. Is nuclear power the fastest way to decarbonize the planet? Decarbonize. You know what I think, Grace? Let's see. Anything interesting? I tried cold plunging for the first time, and here's my honest review. Well, thank you for making it honest. Are your reviews normally dishonest? I'm just saying, Grace. I know I'm picking their words apart, but why the fuck not? How can you study dark matter if you can't see it? Alright, Grace. We'll find one last positive story. Don't seem to be able to find one, Grace. So we'll just call that a day. And maybe tomorrow we'll go back to the old way, or maybe tomorrow we'll do the news again. Don't know. Don't care. Talk tomorrow, Grace, if I can ever stop this fucking thing. But